Hello and welcome back. This is Sherry with Full Armor of God. And today I was driving in my car and wasn't really thinking about anything in particular. And all of a sudden I heard the words Trevor Ault. I know it sounded familiar to me, but I really couldn't place where I'd heard that man's name before. And later I had to look it up to see who he was. And he's a news correspondent with ABC News. So I'll show you the time that I heard it and today's date. It's Wednesday, September 13th. I heard Trevor Ault at 1:20 p.m. and I didn't even know how to spell his name. I spelled it A-L-T and it's actually spelled A-U-L-T. But I didn't type it, the text message to myself until 4:21 because I got busy doing things around the house. So then I remembered and then I did text it to myself. But you will see in a moment when his name actually is shown to me as a revelation that I had received this prophetic message from the Lord beforehand earlier in the afternoon at 1:20 p.m. So here is where I heard about Trevor Ault, which was the capture, the news story about the capture of that criminal escapee, that Cavalcante, after his 2-week on the run escape from prison in eastern Pennsylvania. So I'm going to play this video and show you where Trevor Ault is associated with the video.
Finally, an end to the manhunt that kept thousands of people on edge for nearly 2 weeks outside Philadelphia. Convicted murderer Danilo Cavalcante captured, surrounded, and surprised by a tactical team. When he tried to crawl away with his stolen rifle, it was a police dog that took him down. Led away in handcuffs to an armored vehicle, tonight back behind bars. The U.S. Marshals sharing this photo of the moment he was taken down. The big break came from heat sensors on a plane overnight. That plane detecting someone before bad weather forced the plane back for a time. But on the ground, they moved in trained dogs helping to finish the job. A motorcade taking him to a state police facility was actually a home alarm that went off overnight that initially drew search teams to that area. And tonight, the convicted murderer is now at a maximum security state prison, back to serving his life sentence for the brutal murder of his former girlfriend in front of her small children. ABC's Trevor Ault leading us off again tonight from Chester County, Pennsylvania.
Tonight, escape killer Danilo Cavalcante finally captured in the woods of Pennsylvania. Officers in tactical gear loading him into an armored van 30 miles north of the prison he escaped nearly 2 weeks ago.
Our nightmare is finally over and the good guys won.
Authorities say officers cornered Cavalcante in South Coventry Township. A DEA plane with thermal imaging detecting heat signals around 1 a.m., about an hour after a home burglary alarm was triggered nearby.
Heat signature on the north side of the wood line, going into the woods.
Tactical units quickly converging on that area, a lightning storm, then forcing that DEA plane to leave.
Use caution, they're trying to push the heat signature towards you.
Law enforcement forming a tight perimeter until sunrise.
And shortly after 8 a.m., tactical teams converged on the area where the heat source was. They were able to move in very quietly. They had the element of surprise.
Cavalcante lying prone in some underbrush, armed with that stolen loaded rifle, unaware they'd found him until he was surrounded.
That did not stop him from trying to escape. He began to crawl through thick underbrush, taking his rifle with him as he went.
Customs and Border Patrol teams then releasing a K-9, stopping the inmate from fleeing as officers followed behind. Cavalcante, ever defiant, resisting until he was forcefully captured.
Subject is in custody. Confirmed subject is in custody. And you said the subject is in custody. Yes!
Cavalcante wearing that stolen Philadelphia Eagles shirt and work boots, a trail of blood down his face as he's taken away.
EMS has kind of worked on him in the parking lot and they loaded him up.
That .22 caliber rifle stolen from a garage also recovered. Officials say Cavalcante never made it out of Chester County and he was desperate for help.
You do believe people were intent in trying to help him, including his sister, but they weren't able to?
We believe they were intent. We believe there were some efforts made. We'll have to discuss whether we believe any of those rise to the level of criminal prosecution.
Cavalcante was serving a life sentence for the murder of his ex-girlfriend, Deborah Brandow. Her sister today posting, "We are deeply grateful for the support and hard work put in by law enforcement. These past 2 weeks have been extremely painful and terrifying."
It's quiet again. It's serene. Everyone can just exhale finally.
Tonight, this community, having endured 13 intense days with a murderer on the loose, finally breathing a sigh of relief.
We will be able to go back to feeling secure and safe and letting our kids play on the streets and ride their bikes and not be worried about them anymore.
And David, last week it was too warm outside for thermal imaging to be effective, but today it was crucial in this capture, as was that dog from Customs and Border Protection, a 4-year-old Belgian Malinois named Yoda that took down Cavalcante. And authorities say it's likely that swift takedown is the reason Cavalcante never fired that stolen rifle. David?
Yoda the dog.
So as you see there, Trevor Ault, AULT. Back to my text that I texted myself. Wednesday, September 13th. I heard Trevor Ault while I was driving at 1:20 p.m. I didn't type it to myself until 4:21 because I got sidetracked. But then I had to look him up online to see that he was a news correspondent. I had no idea who he was. So I decided to look up the time that I heard his name, which was 1:20 p.m. And 1:20 in Hebrew concordance is Adam. And the definition is mankind. The transliteration is Adam. And the scripture that I was drawn to was Proverbs 6:12. If you scroll down to verse 12, actually, what interested me was verses 12 through 23. It reads, and this is in the New Living Translation of the Bible, "What are worthless and wicked people like? They are constant liars, signaling their deceit with a wink of the eye, a nudge of the foot, or the wiggle of fingers. Their perverted hearts plot evil, and they constantly stir up trouble. But they will be destroyed suddenly, broken in an instant beyond all hope of healing. There are 6 things the Lord hates, no 7 things he detests: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that kill the innocent, a heart that plots evil, feet that race to do wrong, a false witness who pours out lies, a person who sows discord in a family. My son, obey your father's commands and don't neglect your mother's instruction. Keep their words always in your heart. Tie them around your neck. When you walk, their counsel will lead you. When you sleep, they will protect you. When you wake up, they will advise you. For their command is a lamp and their instruction a light. Their corrective discipline is the way to life." So I just thought I would come on here and give you what I received today, which was absolutely out of the blue. It was very random. I heard Trevor Ault. I didn't even know how to spell his name. Wednesday, September 13th at 1:20. Didn't type it to myself till 4:21. Like I said, I got sidetracked. And then when I was watching the news, my ears perked up when I heard that he was the lead reporter, that his story was about the capture of that Mr. Cavalcante in eastern Pennsylvania. So I just wanted to give you this confirmation, and may God bless you.